Good Friday morning. I'm Zev Fima, research analyst for Action Alerts, plus filling in for Catherine Ross here on the floor of the NYC with Jim Cramer. Jim, let's kick it off. What's top of mind?
Top of mind is that the Chinese, if they do 10 billion more than they're doing right now, or they're offering for hogs, we get a deal. It's that close, apparently. But if they don't give in and pay up, the president's going to veto it. And the reason why is because he doesn't think this is a real deal at all. They need the pork. This is not like doing us a favor. So why are they bargaining for something that they can't get?
When you say deal, do you mean phase one or like?
No. The ag deal first before phase one.
Okay. And so, Jim, let's talk stocks real quick, which we love to do. Nvidia reported last night, really great quarter, a little weak on the revenue guide. What are your thoughts there?
Look, I think that the long knives are out for now. That the stock is run in anticipation of a lot of this, and it's become show me at the $200 level. I think it should be the buy me at the $200 level. I think it's a very good stock doing right here.
All right, and just so everyone knows, Nvidia is our real money stock of the day.
Yes.
We've also got the full earnings analysis over on Action Alerts Plus, and we're going to dig into it even more on the Action Alerts Plus for video with Jim's daily rundown. Jim, let's switch it up. Still talk the cloud though. Amazon is contesting the JEDI contract.
Win-win for us. We'll take either way.
Yeah, we have both.
Yeah, a lot of people feel that Azure is every bit as good as Amazon Web Services. I do not agree with that for this kind, but only because I think the government could have negotiated a really good price with Amazon. I don't know if they would have given in with Microsoft, but some people do think a lot of the big retailers would tell you that Azure's better than Amazon. So I don't think there's going to be any. I don't think Amazon wins this. I think they're two alike.
Even though they have the CIA contract?
Yep, I think they're two alike.
And it does mean more for Microsoft, obviously. They're a smaller cloud business, $10 billion over 10 years.
But look, it's obviously, you need the imprimatur. It would be big for Microsoft. Amazon, we're in it not for the web services, while the web services is fabulous. We're in it for the totality of the company, and I feel very, very strongly that you don't need to have the contract to buy Microsoft, and you don't need to have the contract to buy Amazon.
Jim, like you said, we own both. Are these kind of both, though, must-own names, given the cloud dynamics?
Yes.
Okay, so win-win for investors.
Yes, and Microsoft, by the way, is Mr. Clean. They already went through in 1999, 2000, how to be able to handle themselves. I think the rest of they're in Seattle, obviously not in the Valley, but I think the Valley would do well to watch how they handle themselves because they handle themselves so well.
They really have done a great job of getting out of the spotlight with the tech scrutiny compared to peers.
They know what humans are like. Right. I do think a lot of these guys that don't understand that when you do something and it's on the front page of the Journal or the Times, they're going to get a call from a U.S. attorney. They should understand that. Need better lawyers out there.
Absolutely. Satya has been amazing. Let's switch it up real quick, Jim. We're starting to see the 13Fs come in.
Yes.
Berkshire Hathaway, interestingly enough, taking a position in restoration hardware.
Gary didn't even know. Gary Friedman. He didn't know.
Why is now the time?
Gary's speculating that he watched Mad Money because I've liked the stock so much. Remember, these guys are moving rapidly out of China. There'll be still good craftsmanship. There's a mode here that I think Buffett knows, which is that they own the high end and no one seems to be able to touch them. That's a public company. And remember, Buffett owns one of the largest furniture marts in the world. And I think the Furniture Mart people have said, you know what? This is really great stuff at RH. So RH is a winner. I like it very much.
So let me just ask you, this just came to mind because you do mention that they're leaving China. Is this kind of pressure on the Chinese, the fact these companies are starting to really realign supply chains?
Our media buys into the idea that the Chinese are invincible.
Because once they leave China, they're not going back.
No. Right. The Chinese are playing with fire.
Right.
They're either going to have Elizabeth Warren or Trump. And I would rather have Trump than Warren if I were President Xi. And this whole idea that they play the long game and we play the short game, it's not a game. It's not a game. It's containment. The Soviet Union played the long game. People don't remember that the Soviet Union was viewed as much more powerful than the United States for a while after they got the H-bomb and after they did Sputnik. And all you ever heard about was how brilliant Khrushchev was and how amazing the hero, how amazing Brezhnev was. And I see the same thing again in the sycophantic media for China.
And we all know how that turned out. Jim, we are out of time.
By the way, look, the Soviets, I think people don't like to admit it, but they really did the most to win the Great Patriotic War. And the Soviets had an unbelievable army, and of course then we found out that they didn't. But I lived through a period where all I ever heard of was how much more powerful they were than us and how long-term they were. And I'm hearing the same thing with China, and I say good luck.
Good luck.
We're a strong democracy, And the media ought to start recognizing that we're a democracy, regardless of who in the White House. And a democracy wins.
All right, guys, we are out of time. We're going to jump over now to Jim's Daily Rundown over on ActionAlertsPlus.com, which you can check out with a free membership. I'm Zeph McCatherine. We'll be back Monday. See you then.